Welcome, Harvey, to another episode of the Outward Hire. Really glad to have you on. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great actually. It's a fresh new start. It's a Friday for me here in the Philippines, and I'm really excited to be here. Share my experience. Be with you here, and pretty excited what we can go about this.
Awesome. So, could you tell us a little bit about your role as a Marti freelance partner? I know that you're
Mhm.
currently working at a San Francisco e-commerce company. So, could you go a little bit deeper on what that role's about?
Yeah. So, hi everyone. I'm Harvey. You call me Harbs for short. And I would say I'm a Marti Partner, a freelancer, and I'm doing a freelance work under Upchoose. Upchoose is a fast-growing startup, uh, um, a fast-growing e-commerce startup in San Francisco, wherein their main selling point, or they try to sell baby clothing, but that's just the start, I would say, right? And my role there is a product manager. So I help build, streamline the product team, which technically I'm still leading the product team and also leading the development team, wherein the designs that we build, we design for the customers will be turned over to the developers, which I would say are in Ukraine, which is like far away from San Francisco. So as you would see, I'm in here in the Philippines working, customers for San Francisco and also reaching out to Ukraine. So that's really, different time zones. Managing those tasks. And yeah, so my task is to really lead this product team and to really design solutions for our customers.
Awesome. So, before you became a Marti partner, actually, I wanted to kind of rewind and roll back a little bit. What was
Sure.
your work routine like before becoming a Marti partner, and how would you say what would you say is the difference between being a Marti partner versus just being a regular freelancer, in your opinion?
Okay. um Before I was a Marty partner, I was doing freelancing before that, right? But I would say it was hard in a way that it was not assured you're gonna give in, a project, because as a freelancer you're a solo player, as I would say. Like if you play MMORPG or you're playing Genshin Impact right now, right? You're like a solo player. But now, being with Marty, you're like a co-op. You have friends. You're in a community of freelancers where you can just ask, when for example they invite me into this project, then I'm in, right? If you're available, I'm in. So in the past I would usually look for my projects, right? So I might email them, but usually all my freelance were referred by, right? For example, a friend of mine or a teacher of mine would refer me. Oh, you know how to do websites, right? Would you want to do this for a friend? So that's usually my gig, but it's not assured that I'll get that project, right? Because of the scope, the price, the timeline, right? But with Marty, all those problems are gone for me. Like I don't have to look; they just have to tap me. Are you free? Are you G? Like when playing Call of Duty, are you G? I would say yes, I am G. So that's where I'm in right now in Upchoose. But yeah, I hope my analogy would work for you. And sorry if it sounds like a game, because I'm a gamer for myself.
Yeah, I'm a gamer too, and yeah, I guess with Marty, you get the chance to just really focus on either the strategy and the execution, and leave it to our sales team to do like I mean, the lead finding and like the closing of the deal and all of that. So yeah, it's good to hear
Yeah,
that your
so
experience is good with
like
that.
as someone that really focus on product, right? I can be a product manager, in the UX UI design, or as a developer, because that's what I trained to be, a mix of both of all these worlds. I try to be that guy, and focusing on that product is something that I really want, right? I don't have to worry about the administrative side of things, even the legal side, payments, sales, operations. I'm not a startup, right? I'm not a company to do that all my own. So Marty's really helpful for me.
Awesome. Could you share a little bit about what your day-to-day experience is like with Upchoose? Like what kind of
Yeah.
tools that you use, or how you communicate or manage tasks?
Actually, let me share. Like before I entered Upchoose, they don't have such, internal communication strategy, especially for product, right? So it was really blank. They just leave all the work to the Ukraine team. So my manager, Ali, would just try to draw anything that he visualized would fit for the company, and then just send this to the development team. Try to do that, try to implement that. But because of that, because the designer is not the one who devved it, it has compromises. It has different design outputs, development outputs. So right now, because I'm part of the team, I translate all these business insights, right? This research. Like we all have this analytics that we use. I forgot which tool that we use, but I look at that. I look at the for example, if I see this problem, okay, they're having a problem with setting um fixing their profile. Like they take 10 seconds, 20 seconds to fix their profile. That's bad UX, right? So that's where I come in. I propose to Ali, this is what we change, etc. But maybe that's my day to day workflow. Like I look for a problem. Yeah, I have two marching orders, as Ali would say. One is find a problem to fix, right? Look at the analytics, and next is simplify all the things we have in the platform. Like for example, if you have 10 steps, reduce it to 5 or 3, right? So that's something that I do personally with Upchoose, and with that, our day to day is I requested to have a Slack channel because I don't want to have emails all around. As someone that have subscribed in other newsletters, all your client emails would be, out of the way, right? So Slack is the best way for me to discuss things with Ali and Upchoose and with the team. I also have a Slack channel with the development team. So all the hot fixes, all the updates, we all do it there. At the same time, I propose that we use Figma. So Figma is really a very good tool in doing design. So all our product management side as well as our designs are there. So it's one good comment from our developers. It really helped them visualize what they need, especially that all the code that is there. The design for web, for tablet, and mobile are also there. So it's really become much more helpful. Like before, it took 1 month at most to develop such a feature because of communication problems, but now it's streamlined to less than a week, right? Every week we have an update for the team, and we're doing great progress. At the same time, we implemented Trello, right? That's our project management tool. We're in. If I see a hot fix, I just create a card. Okay, this is the hot fix. Fix this. This is the level of priority. I also assess how difficult it is. Estimate the time that it should take, and then I just chat in the Slack channel. Guys, is this okay for you? Is this doable? Is this reasonable? Right? And this is something that we prioritize. Please accomplish this. Like for example, I just said one yesterday, 3 days ago. This redesign is an urgent priority. Mark as urgent, and then yesterday I just received it. It's done. So that streamlined process was really good. Like those if you would ask Ali and even the team, it took them how many months, right, to develop changes, really long. But now it's really faster, less than a week, I would say. And yeah, we lastly we implemented having a Notion workspace. So most of the team uses that for marketing as well, operations. We just it's like our idea dump, right? So we put our ideas there, like our proposals, and that's where we look at it back. And yeah, that's all for me.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you were able to advise the team on what the organizational strategies are, and it sounds like it really boosted the efficiency of the entire organization, and
Yeah.
that's really cool. Um, for the sake of our other potential Marty partners listening, could you share what your work hours are like throughout the week?
Mhm. Okay. Thank you for that. Actually, as you would know, as I said a while ago, my work is kind of, um, the people I work with are really at different time zones, right? Example, Ali's in San Francisco. Actually, he's now traveling around Morocco. Actually, so like he has I'm subbing for him in all those role duties. But at the same time, we have a team in Ukraine which is doing the development side of things. Now with that, as you can see, the it's kind of I have to work 24/7. It kind of looks like that, right? Because the time that Ali is awake, it might be the time that the Ukraine team is almost gonna be sleeping or I'm sleeping. So it's really different. So I would say I really work in the Philippines right around the usual work time I do, right? So from 10 a.m. in the Philippines, GMT plus 8 until late 10 p.m. So I really try to meet the time where Ali is awake, right? Ali is, my manager is, ready for feedback at the same time, the time wherein the the development team is available for my feedback, for my testing, for my design turnovers, right? So I but in the end of the day, everything is project based, right? So when I start my day or I start the week, I set up the things that we need to accomplish, right? So for example, for this day, I'll send something. Please do this hot fixes. Please do this designs. And then I just ask at the later half for updates. So it's really flexible, but I try to open up my working hours from 10 a.m. in the Philippines and 10 p.m. in the evening. Yeah.
Got it. So it's pretty much flexible, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's really flexible. Like I don't have to, input time that I have to log in because all our times are in different time zones. So that won't work. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this pretty much segues into another question I had for you, which was I believe this is the first time you're working with a US based startup. Am I right?
Yes, yes,
So,
absolutely.
so, so how was your overall experience of like the entire, like having a US based manager, and did you have to make any cultural adjustments in order to like fit in within the team?
Well, one culture adjustment I had to do is to speak English all the time. I think that's one, right? As someone in the Philippines, I really like to, to code switch, right? Speak in Filipino, speak in my natural language and in English. But I would say it's not a big of adjustment, right? I think what the main denominator of all the things that I had is that everything is about tech, right? So even if you in the US or even in the Ukraine team, I was able to adapt to them because what we're talking about is a product and technology, right? We all fit in there, so I think there's not much of change, right? I feel comfortable with the team, with Ali, with Upchoose, and the Ukraine team. Well, maybe they have other cultural, but I try to be upfront on what of what I have. For example, actually, in the Philippines, there have been holidays during February, right? So even I told them upfront, there's a national holiday in the Philippines. I'll be on leave, and they're happy. They understand, right? So I really appreciate that. So that culture kept me from moving forward, right? It keep me from moving forward, and that's why we're gonna launch something soon for Upchoose. So stay tuned.
Cool, cool. It sounds exciting. Um, that when also I also wanted to ask you about the well, I guess one of the less advertised portions of Marti, which is our payments
Mm-hmm,
platform. So,
mm-hmm,
what is your overall experience with our payments platform, and are you getting
okay.
the support that you need through there, and
Mm-hmm.
what is it like, being paid in like US dollars and then getting it converted into pesos?
Yeah. Actually, let me tell you a story before I move into the platform, right? During the holidays here in the Philippines, my family and some church friends, family friends told ourselves, let's go, go around the country, like to a province, sightseeing. And then we saw that it was just 90 kilometers away from our family province in the Philippines. So I told my family, why not, shoot our shot, go to our province, even though it's in the pandemic times, like even it's in a lockdown. But take note, we're doing health. measures, so don't worry about that. So we went to the province, and then the next day, I gave my PO, I gave everything that I need. It's really simple, it's really flexible, and then the moment that I look at my phone, an update, I have the payment. It's super easy. I think that's a very good story. Why? Because I didn't expect that I'll have a payment that day. Like, legit. I didn't think that I'll receive a payment. I didn't have to worry about the payment, but I am assured for the past months I've been doing, the payment will come. Right? So that's something I really like. The moment I opened my phone and I saw the update, the payment has been processed. Wow, US dollars to Philippine peso, all easy. It just took I don't a minute or two to deliver, and it's in my bank account. Right? So from that moment, I'm like Santa Claus in my province. Okay, here's my Christmas gift to you. Here's my Christmas gift to you, because I wasn't able to go to Christmas during the during that time. But yeah, that's a really good story to tell, right? That you don't have to worry about the payment process, the conversion, because everything's already agreed upon before, and they're working on it for you, right? So yeah, I'm happy with the payment that's been given to me. I just have to submit a PO, accept a purchase order at the same time, send my invoice. After that, no more problems, right? So yeah, it's a really good experience. You're like Santa Claus giving money out to family and friends. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that especially we also monitor a lot of the foreign exchange rates between like US dollar and Philippine peso. So a lot of our payment system is actually automated in that, it takes the most competitive rates of what the US dollar to Philippine peso is and actually automatically converts it whenever POs are issued. So you know that you're basically getting the best rate for what your service is compared to going through other channels where they might charge you like $20 fee, $30 fee, which might be really really expensive. So it's glad to hear that your experience with the platform is pretty good. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I guess we could wrap it up around here. And my one last question to you is: would you recommend Marti to other freelancers that you know?
I would say absolute yes. Like, I'm not sure if you guys know, but I have really been suggesting people to subscribe at the same time apply for the Marti platform. Because what's the problem, right? You just have to apply to the community, apply to the organization, and it's up to you to accept the project or not. Right? For me, it's a win-win situation. If you don't like the project, then don't accept it. Right? Just be part of the community. I think just view it as a there's no fee to enter. Am I right? Like, I when I
Yep.
entered, I had no fee to enter, right? It's like entering an email newsletter, right? So I just entered it, just wanted to get information. And then if there's a project and you want to take it if it's available for you. Right? So there's no hurt, problem in just taking a project, right? And you might have the chance to work with someone like me working for a startup in San Francisco. And I want to give that opportunity not just for me, but for the Filipinos who I know are, have this great set amount of skills to work for a global company. That's all.
Awesome. So yeah, it's pretty much wraps it up. Thank you so much, Harvey, for taking the time out of your day to hop on this really short interview. Really appreciate it. Do you have any last words that you want to say to like our potential partners, to anybody you know?
Mm, my last words would be apply, grow yourself, and then just do the work. Right? I think those summarize everything that you need to know about Marty. Apply, um, try to grow yourself, and more as you go along with the program. Then um, just do your damn work. That's all.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Harvey. Really appreciate having you on.
Thank you also.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
Hey everyone. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of The Outward Hire with Harvey, who's actually one of our first freelance partners at Marti. Marti is designed to connect the best freelancers and US based tech startups in an easy and transparent way. We help the finest freelancers get onboarded into top startup companies and boosting their income in return. You can become a freelance partner like Harvey by checking out the link in the description below. Go apply! And you can also follow us on social media over here.